Welcome and thank you for joining us for tonight's virtual town hall regarding the student engagement and activities for the 2020-2021 academic year. I am Jada Anthony. I currently serve as the Student Activities Board Vice President for this academic school year, and I am proud to serve as the moderator for today's event. Tonight, you will hear from various departments in the Division of Student Affairs on topics related to programming and student activities for the and the various measures they are implementing to keep us all safe. Additionally, they will answer many of the questions that we have already received. Thank you to those who have submitted questions in advance for this event. Please keep in mind a few protocols for tonight. Video has been turned off for everyone except for the panelists. This means you will only be able to see the panelists throughout the town hall. All attendees must be muted to help the program move smoothly without interruptions. For those that did not get a chance to submit questions beforehand, you will be able to submit questions during the event using the chat feature. For those viewing on Facebook Live, please submit your questions through the commenting feature. If we are unable to get your question tonight, please submit them to NCCU Live at nccu.edu and we will send a response. This evening's town hall will also be recorded and posted to NCCU Live's YouTube page to rewatch at a later time. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Engagement, Mr. William Clem.
Good evening, fellow Eagles, and thank you for joining us tonight. Today's virtual town hall is designed to share our current fall 2020 activity and programming plans with you. Thank you to those of you who submitted questions in advance to today's town hall. Your questions will guide the format of today's presentation. The goal of today's town hall is to begin to share some exciting new programming concepts and discuss how programming will operate within the Division of Student Affairs. While we know that this year will look much different than last year and past years, we have an exciting opportunity to trailblaze new concepts and programs. We will rely much on your feedback and participation to help create successful events to appeal to you and your peers. Where there's adversity, there is opportunity for an eagle to soar. I know with your help, we will make this semester one of the best yet, full of engaging ideas and opportunities for engagement with others. I encourage those who did not get a chance to submit questions beforehand to use the chat and comment features. Please note that while some questions cannot be answered at this time, we will continue to do our best to provide you with clear answers as well as any planned updates. The health and safety of our Eagle family is and will continue to be our top priority. So before we begin, I want to take a brief moment to personally thank the many members of the NCCU faculty and staff for their hard work and service on our various fall operations subcommittees. I'd like to welcome our panelists and thank them for joining us this evening. Heather Davis, Executive Director for Student Engagement and Leadership. Erica Estep, Associate Director for Residential Life. Dr. Georgia Sawyer, Director of New Student Family Programs. Emily Guzman, Director of Diversity and Inclusion. Pastor Gloria Winston Harris, Director of Spiritual Development and Dialogue. Dr. Nicole Lewis, Director of the Women's Center. Katrina Dos Reis, Director of the Career and Professional Development Center. Nicole Piscatelli, Director of Campus Recreation and Wellness. Colleen Herbert, Director of Community Engagement and Service. And Ms. Giera Mann, Joint Greek Council President. Without further delay, let us begin. Ms. Davis, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Eagles. It is always exciting to be before you all. Again, my name is Heather Davis, and I currently serve as your Executive Director of Student Engagement and Leadership, also known as SEAL. If we can go ahead and go to the next slide. The text before you, what it indicates is our responsibility as SEAL. And as you see here, it is indeed our responsibility to serve as a resource for involvement, engagement, and leadership for our students here at NCCU. We are just here this evening to ensure you that though the current environment based on the pandemic and the current state of our country at this point does not negate, change, or minimize our responsibility and or commitment to you all as Eagles. So just know, as always, no matter the circumstances, we are here together as an Eagle family. Go ahead and move forward. I also would like to draw your attention to the bottom of my slides. You can see the couple icons that are before you. We want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to include just reminders in regards to the new social norm that we're hoping that we all can go ahead and comply and engage in, making sure that the nest is safe as we continue to engage as a Eagle family. So as SEAL, in addition to the aforementioned responsibilities, we also manage several areas and several cohorts of students, some of which you see before you: the Student Government Association, our Student Activities Board, Royal Court, Fraternity and Sorority Life, the process and resources for over 100 plus registered student organizations, as well as a myriad of leadership trainings and opportunities. They all fall, and some of those leadership opportunities actually fall within our program, Equal Elevation, the Leadership Center, which is also a shared responsibility with other areas on campus. So all of these offerings will still be available and be full speed ahead. So you have a lot of students, just like you have a lot of faculty and staff that have been working behind the scenes for the duration of this time, making sure that we have content, experiences, and opportunities to offer to you all. Just to let you all know, the Club and Organization Leadership Conference has already been scheduled and it will be held on September 1st. You'll find updates and information on Engage, as well as the opening for registration for our registered student organization. And that will begin on August 3rd and commence on the 14th of August. Go ahead and move on. So here we wanted to make sure that we gave you just a sneak preview and a peek into what to expect when we return to the nest. As I alluded to before, there's been lots of work going on behind the scenes, making sure that we have content for you. So though there may be minimal contact, there will not be minimal content. And so some of the things that we'll be able to offer technologically supported are before you. So things like movie nights, our organizational fair, laser tag, some Wild Out Wednesdays, pep rally, coordination. We just had to be very creative in regards to how we offer these experiences. And so we wanted to make sure we did give you a little bit of a sneak peek to let you know that things will definitely go on. And we're super excited about how we'll get to engage with you all once you return to the nest in the fall. Just know that we'll make sure that you all have the latest parameters in regards to what has been set in place for programming in regards to registered student organizations. We'll make sure that there's signage and instructions and directions on how to govern ourselves in spaces to make sure that we are all safe and we can all still have a great experience and opportunity to engage with one another. Just to give you guys a little bit of insight in regards to some of the latest technology that we'll actually be able to offer to you all. We were just made aware by IT that Office 365 is actually being offered free to the students. So just keep in mind, if you all are indeed purchasing new technology like laptops and computers, just know that 365 is being offered to you free of cost. Also, WebEx is also going to be available soon for students to be able to set up meetings and experiences that way as well. So just look for that to come down the pipeline. Additionally, we are currently building policy and procedure around how our internal cable network can actually be streamed to your smart devices as long as you are connected to the NCCU Wi-Fi, and making sure that we can actually offer our content there as well. And so there are a lot of opportunities that we're trying to put in place, and some of which has already been put in place to make sure that we all can continue to engage with the support of technology. And here you just see some of the contact information for the team. They weren't able to join me as a full team today, but I wanted to go ahead and make sure you had their name, contact contact information, their emails, as well as their areas of responsibility. You'll also see our social media handles here as well. What I would just like to make sure that students are aware of, the beginning and the end of all experiences that are offered by FEEL is indeed engaged. So you will find your registration link, the information in regards to the content and the scope of the experience and or event, how to navigate through and to, and then we'll also share some marketing information on those social media handles as well, which will always point you right back to engage to make sure that for the information in totality, you can always refer back to engage. So thank you so much. It is always a pleasure, and we are excited to see you all in the fall.
Ms. Easton, you can go.
Greetings, Eagle family. We are excited to have you return to campus. Our RAs and desk assistants have already returned and are ready to greet you. Next slide. So right now, I'm just wanting to highlight some of our programming that will be held in the residence halls, whether virtual or small in nature, through our social events and programs focusing on the areas below. So we are focusing our programs on academic engagement and success, mental and physical well-being, life skills and personal improvement, and social justice education and celebration of diversity. Residents will have the opportunity to win prizes through participation in certain events and initiatives, and floor meetings will take place virtually in August. Next slide. So for fall move-in, general procedures are phased move-in procedure by appointment only. Maximize your use of drop and go that's happening this Friday for July 31st and August 1st for North Carolina residents. There was limited space. Students will register for move-in times and dates or be assigned a move-in appointment. Move-in per hall will be by floors with no more than 10 persons at one time. Students will be permitted one helper to help them move in. We will provide move-in cards for you so that because you only have one helper. All individuals will need to complete a health screening in advance, preferably the night before. Face coverings will be worn at all times in the residence halls as well as on campus. Contactless check-in process, we have that. And then regular cleaning of high-touch areas is for our housekeeping staff. Move-in dates by appointment only will be August 4th to August 23rd. First-year students and early arrival populations will be scheduled to move in between August 4th and August 14th. And then students assigned to George Street and Alston Avenue have a tentative move-in of August 17th to August 23rd. Thank you.
Great Eagle evening, Eagles. We are so excited to have each and every one of you here on this evening sharing with us. I am Dr. Georgia Sawyer, the Director of the Office of New Student and Family Programs. So though our office mainly deals with orientation and making sure that our incoming Eagles first year and transfer students get the information that we need, we won't just leave you off there. We want to make sure that we still provide information for you and opportunities for you to help you matriculate as you come into the university. Next slide. So some really quick information from our department, what to expect. So as I said, a lot of our programming for the fall 2020 semester, we will be hosting some first-year programs and workshops. So these programs and workshops will be geared toward our first-year and incoming students to help guide them along the process. You would have already received a wealth of knowledge and information from orientation. But as I said, we don't just want to drop you there. We want to make sure we guide you along and help, and so that you know that you have another resource to fall back on as you matriculate through the year. So we'll be gearing up with some new ideas, some new workshops to host for our first year and incoming students. Also, for any of those freshman students or incoming students who want to take on more of a leadership role, who say, I want to really have a part in what my class is doing, then you may want to be a part of our Student Government Association and run for an office within the student government, being a part of the Freshman Class Council. And as such, our office would be your advisors. So workshops that you may want to plan, any ideas that you may have to incorporate for your class, that would be done through our office. So we are going to make sure that when you get here, we don't just let your hand go. We still guide you along the process. As you can see there, our contact information, our phone number, you are able to reach us at 919-530-6336, or feel free to send us an email at newstudents@nccu.edu. Once again, we're so excited to have you and see you in the fall.
Good evening. We're so excited at Diversity and Inclusion to have y'all back on campus. I am the director, Emily Guzman, of Diversity and Inclusion, and Jennifer Williams is the coordinator of the LGBTA Resource Center. Next slide. We at Diversity and Inclusion on NCCU's campus have several points of pride about how we promote diversity and inclusion at NCCU. We actually have had our last year Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference that was in person on campus, and it was quite a success. So we are also having it this year, and this year it will be tech supported. And registration is still open. Students, staff, and faculty are welcome. And of course, we're always leading the way at North Carolina Central. And we were the first HBCU in the state and the second one in the nation to open an LGBTQIA+ center. Our center was the first one, the first center at an HBCU to have full-time dedicated staff. We are the first and only higher ed institution to have the Trans and Queer Students of Color Conference in this last spring. We will continue to have it each year. We also regularly collaborate with community partners through the Latino Advisory Committee to provide community outreach and access to higher ed. Next slide. We're excited this year to get back started with our internship program. We still have internship slots available. You can send your resume to us via our email, epguzman@nccu.edu. We also have positions available for our LGBTQ student leaders, the Lavender Liaison Program, and also the Mosaic Intercultural Student Leaders. We provide professional development, cultural competency training and development for our students, along with identity development through experiential learning. We're hoping to have our annual NALSA powwow in the spring, but we're definitely going to have our virtual drag show during homecoming, which was quite a success for the past few years. And we'll have our LGBTQ Pride Week in the spring. Next slide. Now, all of the student orgs fall under SEAL. However, we love to highlight our diverse student orgs on campus because we collaborate with them. So make sure you take a picture of this slide so you can follow all of the different diverse student orgs on campus, their social media, and also our social media, the LGBTA Resource Center and Diversity and Inclusion. We post all of our events on our social media, and so do all of the diverse student orgs. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Good evening, Eagles. It is an honor to be here and to share with you about the Office of Spiritual Development and Dialogue. I am Pastor Gloria Winston-Harris, the Director of the Office of Spiritual Development and Dialogue. And I'm really excited about this upcoming year, sharing with you how we as a family will be stronger and grow even more. Next slide. I am excited because as I look at the Office of Spiritual Development and Dialogue, I hope that I will see you. You see, we support you in your academic and spiritual journey. That is correct. The students that you see in this slide, they are interfaith ambassadors. We are excited about having that as a student-led organization, group of students that lead the way from diverse religious groups. But I want to share with you from the beginning about our office. If you are a freshman or you are someone that's just tuning in, please know that your faith matters. And we as an office want to make sure that whether we have the program or you are interested in starting a new one, let us know because we want to make it happen. This year will be quite unique. Although it's going to be different, it will still have the same tenacity to stretch you, to push you, to encourage you to explore your faith. I'm excited that we have a lot of opportunities to promote interfaith dialogue. We are a diverse campus. There are several religious groups that operate on our campus as campus ministries and community organizations. We're excited that we stress the emphasis of sharing a student's faith and spiritual practices in everyday life. We have opportunities for you, the students, the staff, and the faculty, to explore your own spirituality and to develop as a student interested in faith. Our partnerships on campus and off campus are great. You will find that you will get opportunities to participate in community service or service learning opportunities with local mosques, religious groups, and other faith organizations that are nonprofits. Leadership is major. We know NCCU has a model that we live by in service and in truth. And in doing that, we provide the opportunities for you to develop as that leader, that faith leader, but not just with us, but in a global perspective. So we look at ways for you to grow and to look at not only what NCCU is doing to enhance your spiritual growth, but what's happening in our world. And last but not least, we are all about expanding and enhancing your spiritual development. So as a director, I hope you'll look at where you are and be excited about coming to grow and to stretch and to also help others around you. Next slide. Next slide, please. We have several opportunities for you to join us. We're going to continue our second and fourth Sunday worship celebrations at 1:30. It will be a virtual opportunity, but you can tune in. We're going to have local religious groups that will help us lead the way, and we will continue our Transformation Tuesdays on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Our Weekend Warrior celebrations are always a hit, where you get to work on campus and off campus with religious groups. We have international opportunities for the next year to research, to see ways for us to grow and helping others beyond our own campus. Each day we have our own prayer time that is on campus, and we do have a prayer room on campus. If you didn't know, it is in the Union and it's downstairs across from the game room. That is open for you as a student to come to have your private time of prayer or to join in a group time. We have 12 o'clock noonday prayer as well as 6 a.m. prayer online. We are always looking at ways to examine what it means to be a faith leader, to be here in an opportunity to grow on campus and beyond. Some of the opportunities for you, if you're interested in as a faith-based organization, will come through our office this year. We're glad that we're going to have a campus ministry praise team. We support the current MSA that's on campus, and we look forward to the other faith groups that will be on campus. And I have mentioned the interfaith student ambassadors. Those are students from various faith traditions that serve in leadership. I am excited because your faith does matter. And we're looking forward to kicking off our opening worship service, our Interconnections Fair, where we're going to have several community groups to share with you ways that you can either attend worship, be connected with campus ministries, or be in a way that you can grow with the partners that we have. Not only that, we want to hear from you. I want you to make sure that you have my number and my email address should you need to reach me. And if you have interest in any area that we haven't mentioned, but you believe it will enhance your growth, my telephone number is 919-602-6967. My office is located in the Student Union downstairs in G33, and I am available, and I am your pastor here to help you. Let us move forward with all that we have to grow in our own spiritual development and practice it for 2020, 2021. Thank you.
Dr. Lewis, you're good to go.
Good evening. I am so thrilled. So the last time we all gathered, we gathered for the I'm Every Woman Symposium. And a small team made a mighty impact. We made it all the way to primetime cable television. And so why would we stop as we move forward into 2020, 2021? The Women's Center has so many opportunities and planned events for us to still be connected, to still get real, to still engage. As one of only 6 HBCUs that has a Women's Center, we are committed to making sure that each year we keep bringing you back your solid, consistent signature events and experiences, and also to give you just a little bit of something extra and more. Next slide. So one of the things we always talk about is that the Women's Center is where you come to develop your kin, your knowledge, your image, and your network. And so this year we wanted to really group in this very trying time to make sure that we're capturing and gathering and building your kin in a really special and unique but yet innovative way. So when we talk about Women in Communion, we're really talking about this programming that we have. Our signature LLC, the Annie Day Shepherd Scholars, you will see those students in and around campus and in technology-supported spaces, growing in their leadership development and their career readiness. We would not be the Women's Center if we did not bring you the Real for Real in the Real Talk series. And so we will keep that going. But this year, because we get to do it in a technology-supported way, we can bring in folks from all over to tell stories you have never heard before. Our writer's block is something that we really are excited about expanding in terms of our growth and our stretch, because not all of us need to stand on a table and go rah, rah, rah. And not all of us want to gather in huge crowds, although we certainly cannot do that. But some of us like to sit and be introspective and use that as our way as we build communion and community amongst each other. So we will do a drop-in, virtually supported. We may have some in-person opportunities where we just come together, write, and be creative, but you all are not ready for what is coming with that writer's block. What are women watching? Of all the programs and all the folks that you hear featured tonight, the Women's Center has been active. So I want to thank you all, because as we move through the summer, you have been with us every Tuesday, either at 7 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. And we have been watching and laughing and unpacking and just really getting into some stuff. So you're watching what we're watching, and we're going to keep that going every week. So when you're tired of doing something else, and you want to log in, but you don't want to log in alone, log in and see what we're watching. Servitude Scholarship. So the Women's Center will continue to operate as a community-approved agency for community engagement and community service hours. We have several opportunities. They're going to be a little more unique this year in that we're going to really carve them out so that when you sign up to do and earn community engagement hours with us, you're doing something that really meets not just your need and your desire, but helps you get ready for that next, because we're all preparing you to leave the nest and do the next thing. And so we still will be doing that. We count on you. As many of you know, if you're new to our campus and to our community, you may not have an understanding, but the Women's Center always leads with its students. So we look forward to you all to help us grow the brand, grow the stretch, and build the can. We'll be offering workshops every other week under what we consider to be core, and you'll see some of those here. So we'll have an education series around character development, body positivity. Civic engagement is something that we have never ignored, but we're going to really be bold and loud and brash on that this year and really build out some really unique experiences. And just like the rest of my colleagues, we're going to partner. So we'll be doing a lot more building. Again, that Women's Symposium was a partnership between not just the Women's Center and Women and Gender Studies, but also the Department of Criminal Justice. And so there are women and female identified students all across campus that are looking to be heard and in communion. So we are open and all are welcome. Next slide, please. Then we talk about women in wellness. So we want to do a lot of coordinated community projects. Again, many of those will be virtual, but we can't live just on this campus, just like you all are not living on this campus in the same way that you did before. So for those of you all who are with us, we're going to do some things. But for those who will be watching us and engaging with us in spirit, we're going to push you to really be engaged in the community in which you are opening the door to and closing the door to each day and each night as you're learning, growing, and building. We also will be launching and continue to move forward with a Breathe Life Sister Circle. We're actually calling it our Women of Worth. So we will have a therapeutic space for women to gather more intimately and really work through and unpack some of those things that we just can't shake. But we need to shake those things so we can move forward, progress through and past graduation. And just like we talked about, there be opportunities for internships and ambassadors and other units, the Women's Center does have a co-educational peer educator group called Team I Got You. And we are looking and encouraging you to seek membership so that you can use your voice to help us teach your peers. Who is better to hear from than from each other? And so we will have that, and we are unapologetically using Team I Got You to make sure that we have a safe, healthy campus, and that we're building safe and healthy relationships. Next slide. And finally, network, women building wealth. So I am most delighted about this. We sampled this a little bit in the spring, but we understand that as the students on our campus, but particularly the 70% of us who identify as female, we got to get this money. We have to make this money, and we have to spend the money and grow the money that we have responsibly. So we're really going to have an emphasis this year on building wealth and financial stability and literacy. So we will continue with our signature program, We Win, exposing you all to the career opportunities for leadership as a woman. And then we also are going to continue in the end of September, we will actually host our third annual Her Hustle Mega Workshop, so we can teach you how to build and grow a business right where you are, right in the middle of this, because time is now for that. And then we'll have 3 rotational financial series that will start and stop in staggers so that you can decide based on your schedule and your need and your interest, what level of financial stability, what level of financial literacy, what level of wealth growing do you want to do and are you committed to doing? And the Women's Center is going to offer that to you in a really unique and special way on a consistent basis throughout the fall and hopefully throughout the year. Next slide. We continue to move, and you can follow us on our social media. Many of you already do, but if you have not, on Instagram, we are at NCCU Women's Center. On Twitter, we are Women's Center _. And we also have a Facebook page under NCCU Women's Center. So look for us, follow us, get engaged, be involved, grow your kin, your knowledge, your image, and your network. Mr. Heath?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this time to tell you a little bit about what we plan to do this year. I know this has been a tough 4.5 months. We've been in the house. We've seen a lot of different things on TV, a lot of violence, a lot of sad singing, and we also seen power in numbers. And so I just want us to just know that North Carolina Central and Student Affairs have been working hard, tirelessly over the last couple months to prepare for you guys to arrive. And so I just want to say that when you get here, we're going to support you in every way we can, and we hope that we have a great semester. Well, not hope, we will have a great semester, and we'll continue on prospering in our life. So you can go to the next slide. So this year, for the Men's Achievement Center, we're more of a hands-on approach operation. Myself, Mr. Heath, as you know, the director, Mr. Sean Andrews, who's the coordinator, and also Ms. Taisha Troy, who's our data analysis and administrative assistant. So we're a very hands-on team. We do a lot of hands-on approach, but we know with COVID, there's a lot of things we won't be able to do as it pertains to being hands-on. And so we will enter the virtual, highway of seeing how can we keep students, particularly males, engaged. And for you freshmen that may be on the line tonight, we are the Men's Achievement Center, the African American Male Initiative, where we support men and through persistence and retention. The goal is to get you out of here in 4 years. We do a lot of things with personal development, health and wellness, as far as mental health. Not a counseling center, but we just focus on teaching young men how to deal with certain avenues in their life. And we feel like that we're one of the premier programs in the state as well as the country. We have a 94% retention rate, which is higher than any program per se in the system from Carolina to NC State. We feel that by that common touch and being really engaged with young men, we can get them to the next level. So this semester, like I said, is going to be different. We're going to kick the year off with a Durham Summit, and I'll tell you more about that on the next slide. But this Durham Summit is going to be real big. We have presenters from all over the world, all over the country. We even have people who are not in the country who are ready to participate in this conference. The goal this year is to be more intentional with our programming. We hope to develop more personal approach as it pertains to your career development. When I say career development, we're starting a mentoring program where we actually have recruited over 100 plus men of color who are in the professional world. So we feel that by us coordinating this and actually putting young men together with other men who are in their field, we feel like this could help them emotionally. It also give them someone to talk to as they transition through college and into their career. Our goal this year is to match 200 to 300 young men on campus with a professional mentor. With that being said, these mentors will be trained. We will screen them to make sure the young men are safe. But we feel like this is the next step of bridging the gap between two generations. We have a great response. Within a month, we had 100 men sign up, and every day we get new calls about how can I sign up to be a mentor. So if you're a young man on campus and you're looking for some extra support, these calls will be twice a month. With COVID, we wanted to do more hands-on, but the young men will be able to get in touch with their mentor twice a month via email, text, GroupMe, FaceTime, whatever floats your boat and makes you feel comfortable. As well, I'll go back to the Durham Summit. With this Durham Summit, we collaborated with Duke University, the Emily K Center, and a couple more agencies. And so this day is going to be all about mental development. It's going to be all about professional development. It's going to be all about networking. My goal this year is to teach the young men how to network with so many tools. COVID showed us that this computer can do a lot of great things. You can reach a lot of people at any given time. And so that's one of the blessings that came out of this. It taught us to expand our thinking, our programming, and as well get in contact with people that we never thought we would talk to. And so with that being said, that summit will be a 2-day event, all virtual. The goal this year is to sign up for the young men who attend. They're trying to raise funds to pay you $400 just to attend this conference. And so who makes $400 within 5 hours as a student? So what other place to be on that Saturday is to go in, get some knowledge, get some networking, and also make money. Also this year, we'll be having some virtual reading programs with Durham Public Schools. just to make sure you can kind of be engaged with the community. We plan to have a virtual tutoring lab, and we're going to do a lot of social distancing programs. So this year, last year, I met a lot of freshmen who were kind of struggling, young men, to find their way. And so our theme for the year is no man left behind. And so we kind of making a theme off the first 48, creating lifelong decisions within 48 months. And so I know plenty of you guys have watched the first 48 show, but I wanted to find a way how we can spin that narrative and show them that we're good, we're making strides, and we're going to be the best young men we can be. And lastly, we also want to do the Brother You're Not Superman. And what that is, that'll be a lot of virtual sessions with a lot of black male therapists, counselors, just to get in and have conversation and to show young men that if sometimes you need somebody to talk to, it's okay. We all need somebody to talk to at some point. I know for myself, COVID took me to a place I'd never been before, just stuck in the house, and all we could do was look out the window, or, couldn't go to church, or whatever your favorite vacation spot was. So we had to think differently and move in different ways. So I want to say that the Men's Achievement Center, our doors will be open, of course. You would have to come in and make appointments with us as well, but we plan to be on foot, out on the campus. I'll have my mask on. I'm just a people's person, so I'm willing to take that chance. With that being said, I'm gonna keep myself distant, but I'm willing to go out and meet the students where they are. So you will see me on campus on foot. I will have my sneakers on, ready to get to work. And so next slide. So lastly, what I was talking about earlier, so these are some of the professionals that we'll be having at the conference this year. I definitely want to show that. What is unique about this is, so Gina Lofton, she's the Chief Technology Software Developer at Microsoft. She graduated from A&T. But just to see a woman of color in such a high position and coming to talk to us, I think that's a great thing. She also invited us to the Microsoft Summit for Black Developers, meaning any student who comes by and want to attend this gala through Microsoft, they'll pay for students to go. And so this theme this year is get engaged, get our network up. And what we've seen on the news through COVID is power in numbers. Central should be your hub. It should be your best. It's your place of passage. When you get together and make things move, when we come together, we can see things change. And so once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And if you want to reach me, my number is 919-530-6064. I'll put it in the chat as well as my email. Thank you.
Ms. Dos Reyes.
Yes. Hey, thank you, ABC Clem. Good evening, everyone. My name is Katrina Dos Reese, and I am your director for the Career and Professional Development Center. Next slide. So I want to echo my colleague, Mr. Heath. Like many of you, I struggled with the impact and the implications of COVID and being quarantined to the house and having to juggle 2 kids and my husband and trying to balance work and meeting tasks. And oftentimes I wasn't able to get to it until later that afternoon and sometimes in the evening. And that was very frustrating because everybody was off work then. So it was hard to get things done. And so that ended up with me having a lot of anxiety, being very frustrated. And so then it dawned on me, I need to be able to accomplish what I need to do anytime and anywhere. And so that's what I'm excited to bring to you and the Eagle family today. Career services anytime and anywhere. And so I don't want anyone to get stressed. I know the Career and Professional Development Center, we're not really the sexiest out of the student affairs bunch because we're thinking about what am I going to do after I leave NCCU. But I'm here to tell you that we have made it so with these 3 essential tech tools that you can use that you can get started and getting career ready for life. And so these tech tools are VMOC, Big Interview, and Handshake. And so we're super excited to bring them to you this academic year. So I'm going to talk to you briefly a little bit about each and then pass the baton along. So next slide. So VMOC, what is VMOC? I'm so excited about VMOC. Why? Because you don't have to wait to get your resume critiqued anymore. I know many of you that might be first-year students or students in your academic programs that might have resume assignments, and you need to come by the Career Center to get that reviewed. Well, we're here to tell you that VMOC, through partnership with us, will allow you to upload your resume and get instant detailed feedback. Your resume will be scored against other benchmark against other NCCU students and your college peers around the world. And so this allows you to kind of see how your resume fares in the industry. And then, of course, you can complete your resume assignments very, very quickly. So once you go into Handshake, you will be able to access VMOC, or you can access it at vmoc.com/NCCU. Next slide. Big Interview. So we actually had Big Interview last year, or we just procured it last year, but we'll be really pushing it this year. So some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not be, but you get to practice interviewing anytime, anywhere. So because of COVID, you know, a lot of interviews are taking place virtually. So Big Interview allows you to practice interviews virtually. This is going to be the mode a lot of our employers in the labor market in general is going to be hiring. So now you can kind of get a jump start on that. There is a live avatar that you can speak to. So it's not like a cartoon figure, but a person that's going to be asking you questions. And then you can submit that recorded interview to us and get a score on how you did. So you can do that in your residence hall. You can do that right now. All you got to do is go to nccu.biginterview.com. Next slide. So yeah, I struggle with whether or not I should put what is Handshake. Many of you should know what Handshake is, but if you don't, it is the #1 place college students find jobs. 3.5 million jobs and internships from every industry. And yes, 100% of the Fortune 500 recruit on Handshake. And so really, the best way to maximize Handshake is to complete your profile. This allows employers to find you and message you about jobs and internships. How cool is it if a job finds you rather than you having to find a job? So you want to make sure that you complete your profile this semester. Also, Handshake offers jobs all year round. So if you're looking for a part-time job, 600,000 jobs, part-time job listings are on Handshake currently. And so this is really a valuable tool for you, again, to job hunt anytime, anywhere. Next slide. Next slide. Thank you. So now we've had this before, but we really want to emphasize that you can schedule appointments with us through Handshake anytime, anywhere. We also have a Handshake app. So if you go into Google Play, if you have an Android, I'm an iPhone person, so you can go to the App Store and put in Handshake and put in our institution, our school, North Carolina Central University, and you should be able to download the app instantaneously. So you can schedule an appointment with us through Handshake online, or you can call us. And this will be pretty much how we'll be doing business to ensure that you are safe. So yeah, we wanted to make sure that you can access us anytime and anywhere, but this is all driven by the objective of keeping us safe. So we are also on Instagram at NCCU Career Services, Twitter at NCCU_CPDC, We have CPDC on demand, so check out our YouTube channel so you can just see all of our career info videos. We keep them very short so you can get high doses of information in a short period of time. And so I really worked hard thinking about what might be the best way to get information to you, get services to you. And it was my woes of being quarantined because of the pandemic. So I hope that this information is useful to you. Our contact information is toward the end of this presentation, but feel free to check us out anytime. Thank you.
Good evening, Eagles. My name is Nicole Piscatelli. I'm the Director of Campus Recreation and Wellness. And I will have to say, by just listening to all of my colleagues, I'm excited about getting back to school. I can't wait to be back on campus. I can't wait to be with everyone. I can't wait to start introducing some of our programs. As we've been talking about COVID, one of the areas that definitely has to pivot is campus recreation and the fitness centers and how we conduct all of our programs. So I want to spend a little bit of time today to talk to you about that we will be open, but we will look a little different. Next slide, please. So we are doing a phased opening plan of our Campus Recreation and Wellness Center in our programming. So we are anticipating our opening of being on August 10th. Reduced hours while we are moving in students to campus. So we'll be open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and reservations will be required. We keep talking about social distancing, and that's one of the most important things to mitigate the spread of COVID. And so we've been really working hard in the fitness center to make that available to you using these safe precautions. So we're asking individuals to reserve time slots for 1.5 hour time slots for your workout. And then we're going to close the facility and we're going to do a cleaning and disinfecting for 30 minutes before the next time slot begins. So we'll be turning over our equipment and cleaning a lot quicker. Then when fall hours, when everyone's on campus, we'll extend our hours from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Please note we do have a capacity on our space because of social distancing. So we will cap our participants right now at 40, but as research and data keeps coming out, we may have to change that capacity. So bear with us as we work through this process, as we keep kind of pivoting when new research comes out. Next slide, please. So some of our programs, we will continue with our fitness programs. We'll be doing a combination of in-person group exercise classes in the gym or outside. We'll have a variety of different options, and we will live stream all of our classes. So if you're in your residence hall or you're at home and you want to participate, we will have that opportunity for you so you don't miss all of the great classes that we have to offer. So we will be doing them outside, virtual, all of that great stuff. We will continue to post on our social media pages a workout of the day, a workout of the week, so you can do some of these things at home. We'll definitely include some of the modifications, what you could use instead of weights at home, just so you can do it in maybe in your residence hall where you can be your own social distance. You don't have to worry about engaging with each other. Nike Fitness Challenge. We have a variety of challenges on the Nike Fitness app that we utilize this summer. They're fun, they're great, and we'll be rolling one out probably once a week just to keep you active, whether it is a sit-up challenge, a push-up challenge, a walking challenge, a running challenge. We will have a variety of them coming to you soon. We're going to start our Ask a Personal Trainer series. So we're going to start taping some of our personal trainers if you have some of those questions of how to stretch, what's appropriate stretches, how to breathe while you're working out, because there is different ways of how to breathe to maximize when you are working out. We'll have an Ask a Personal Trainer series. And then our competitive sports. That's one that will look slightly different this year. We will definitely be working and continuing with our esports leagues. So definitely sign up through imleagues.com. We'll have a variety of different gaming tournaments throughout the semester, along with we'll have individual contests held in the gym, from a free throw contest to a hot shot contest to a shuttle run contest, just a variety of individual and dual sports to keep you active. All of these events will be videotaped and highlights posted on social media and our YouTube page. We'll continue with our traditional bench press competition that we did not get to run last year because we had to close up and go home, but we are looking excited about bringing that back with our new lovely facilities that you see there. And then we're going to try something new this year called a triathlon, where you get to do it at your own. So we'll have a bike, a swim, and a running time, and then we'll just track your times and have an overall winner. So it can be done at your own pace, at your own time, and you'll just report your time. So we're truly excited about having you back. Definitely been pivoting in our programming. And if you notice in the picture, it kind of gives you a little bit of what to expect when you come in the facility. We'll have some different areas marked off, taped off, cautioned off, as they will not be able to be used to help promote social distancing. Next slide, please. So here's a couple additional information as part of our phase plans. The racquetball courts for now will be kept closed, but we will be opening them for reservations only on September 7th. Max capacity is supposed to be 5, not 54. Wanted to see if you were paying attention. So if you caught that, it's supposed to just be 5 persons in the court. Just checking to see if y'all are paying attention today. However, we will be asking that there is no contact play, so actually no actual racquetball play. So we're reserving those for if we have student organizations that need to have a space for 5 people that maybe need to get together in a space. So that will start online on September 7th. Basketball courts will be open September 7th for reservations only. They will be 45-minute time slots for you, yourself, to shoot hoops on a basket by yourself. So we will only be having 4 individuals in the gym at a time, and no contact play will be allowed. Again, we're trying to promote that social distancing and still providing you with some recreational opportunities. As of now, the locker room and showers will not be available for the time being. Facilities that will be working through those, as we need to ensure that there's social distancing in the locker room space. The pool, the anticipated opening date of the pool is September 7th, and we will continue running our hours Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I know I ran through that really quickly, but we are truly excited. We will be posting all of this in Engage after the town hall meeting, along with our reservation procedures and policies and how you can get involved. So we look forward to seeing you. We can't wait to recreate with you, and thank you again. And our contact information is at the end.
Ms. Herbert.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Herbert, and I have the distinct pleasure to serve you as the Director for the Office of Community Engagement and Service. Next screen, please. In the same way that you were impacted by COVID-19, many of our partners were impacted in the same way. So we've developed a number of strategies to be able to support you as you complete your community engagement academic graduation requirement. Just to give you some context, NCCU was the first HBCU to incorporate service, and this marks our 25th year as an institution of having community engagement and service as part of a requirement for our students. Recently, some of you may have noted that we lost a double eagle, Dr. Beverly Washington Jones, who served as the original director and presented to the board of directors so that you could have this wonderful opportunity for community engagement graduation requirements. So we want to honor and respect and thank her for that. Because of the wonderful things that you all do through your service learning courses, through the direct service and other forms of engagement, our university is recognized nationally and was recognized in 2015 with a Carnegie reclassification as a community engaged campus. We recognize students who present or exhibit excellence in service each graduation cycle, both in the fall and the spring, with the Student Service Impact Award. And we're able to, and love the fact that we're able to provide you with an honor cord for that honor. The office also sponsors what's called the America Reads program, which we've had since 1996. And I know I'm talking about some things that are way before you were born, or maybe right when you were born, But these are things to say that service, truth and service are part of the motto and the tradition of the institution. And so our office is grateful and glad that we're able to support you in that effort. Next screen. So, how would you be able to complete the requirement? And this is a question that we're getting from lots and lots of students. One, is the requirement still something that we have to do? And the answer is yes. If you are an Eagle, you will have the requirement of community engagement and service. And we found that even through the pandemic in the spring when it began, our Eagles were out in the community in numbers. And we received lots of calls from our partner organizations because they were so grateful for the Eagles who stood and who soared and who thought it not too much to go out and continue to support the community. So we continue to serve and to go into community even at the height of the onset of the pandemic. So we're still offering and will continue to offer virtual service opportunities, in-person opportunities with partner organizations who are complying with the social distancing policies and those other policies as directed by the CDC and the state, through our service learning courses, through unpaid certified internships, through community-based participatory research. And you'll see that posted very soon, and these will be research projects that can be served or you can participate in your hometown, and you'll have more information about that on Get Connected. Also, community-focused advocacy initiatives, and for our veterans who have served, we will be offering as for your military service community engagement hours. If you can go to the next slide. Okay. We work really hard to try to support students and looking at how we could make things work better for you. So what we were able to do is get approval for every student who was enrolled during the spring term 2020. You will receive a 15-hour community engagement academic graduation requirement waiver. So you will soon see that posted in your Get Connected account. And so for those students, you will receive that. Even if you were able to get out and serve, we thought it would be good if we could at least support and offer you the waiver. Again, as I stated earlier, a lot of our partners were impacted as heavily as you were when COVID came. So they were not able to pivot and be able to support our students coming out. So we were not able to find as many virtual or in-person opportunities as we would have liked to support our campus community, and therefore we were able to provide you with a waiver. Students are going to be required to fulfill the graduation requirement because that's the big question that's on the table, and it still will be a requirement for you. Also, the students will have their requirement prorated only if you're in an online program. Again, this is all effective as of June 30th of this year. And this is, regardless of the method of instructional delivery, you'll still have that requirement. There were some issues in the past or you were allowed in the past to be able to have hours prorated if you were in an online course, but that no longer exists. It's only if you're in an online program. Transportation is going to be suspended until further notice, unfortunately, but it's something that we have to do because your safety is at the forefront of the work that we're doing. Also, we've expanded your ability to be able to serve from your hometown, from your community. So for those students who are not returning to Durham, you will be able to find opportunities, meet with our office, and then be able to serve in your community if those organizations meet the criteria. We'll also be able to set up appointments using the same software you did if you were scheduling with an advisor through University College. We're going to be able to develop for you an individual community engagement plan to assist you with figuring out how you can complete your graduation requirement, and we're happy to be able to do that. We will have an opening for a community engagement ambassador for this fall, and so look out for that information that should be coming soon. please make sure that you follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest. If you name it, we're on it. YouTube, we're there. So the only other thing I wanted to share is that we're super excited, looking forward to working with you. There will be additional staff in the office. You can send an email to communityengagement@nccu.edu. And the phone number, if you needed to reach us, is 919-530-7079. And we're happy to be here to support you in your endeavors toward your academic graduation requirements.
We will now have our Q&A with Ms. Giera Mann, President of the Joint Greek Council. Ms. Mann, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I am Giera Mann. As Dr. Clem was saying, I am the Joint Greek Council President for the academic school year, and I'm here to answer your frequently asked questions that were submitted. So beginning with the first question, will student-led organizations continue to be active on campus? The answer, yes, they will, and funding will still be available as well. Second question, how will student organization events, meetings, and activities be controlled or monitored? All events, meetings, and activities will have to fall within the safety and legal parameters set forth. Advisors must be present for all events, otherwise campus police will deem it as unsanctioned event and attendees will be asked to leave. All updated parameters will be updated in Engage. All right, so the third question. With all of the restrictions concerning gym access and other recreational services students are being charged for, will students be billed for services that they will not be able to use? Currently, there is a phased reopening plan for recreational facilities and programs. The fitness center anticipates opening on Wednesday, August 5th, with restrictions. The fitness center will have a capacity of 40 patrons, requiring patrons to reserve a space up to 1.5-hour block increments. So basically what Ms. Piscatelli was saying. The fitness center will close for 30 minutes to clean and disinfect equipment. Campus Rec will offer both virtual and live group exercise classes, individual event contests, and other programs to meet recreational needs. I apologize, she changed the date to today, August 10th. If students are staying in the same building, can they visit friends in the same building? There is no visitation during the fall 2020 semester. Students may visit in designated common areas and are required to wear masks and must adhere to social distancing and occupancy limits. Are students permitted to go off campus and visit friends living off campus? Students are permitted to go off campus. Students are subject to Durham County social distancing guidelines, so we strongly encourage all students wear face masks and social distance while off campus. And remember to protect the nest. And so the last question, why are students being charged for online and on-campus fees? NCCU is guided by the policies of the University of NC system. UNC system officials have voted to keep tuition rates the same as our universities continue to operate and provide instruction and essential student services.
Thank you, Giera. Thank you for that. Thank you to everyone. Ms. Piscatelli, she made that one correction. I believe it's August 10th is when the fitness center is anticipated to be open. Can you correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Piscatelli?
Yes, it is Monday, August 10th. We literally made that change today after some more additional standards came out. So.
Understood. Thank you very much. Right now, I will go through some of the questions that are coming through live right now, and I'll answer them or have some of my colleagues answer those questions. Remember, folks, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat section and we will go through. You may get an immediate response via chat or you'll hear your question asked and answered live right now. So going to the list, the first question that came through, will Greek organizations be allowed to hold their scholarship pageants in a traditional manner? I'll take this one. In a traditional manner, as long as that traditional manner abides by the social distancing guidelines that'll be coming down. So most likely not exactly how we've done it in the past. We actually had a couple of meetings just today trying to get some more clarity on what those social distancing guidelines will be. There's actually a potential approval process as far as getting your events approved, not just for space allocation, but also to make sure you have an adequate social distancing plan in place. There are a lot of different things that have to happen, and it is challenging. We don't want to tell you no, because we know that Eagles are creative and you will figure out a way to have your event and protect each other. So we want you to know that we're working on that, we're thinking about that, and as soon as we have more information, we will share that, and you will most likely get a notification through Engage with that. I'm not even sure who can answer that one, so I'm going to come back. Ms. Kraus, this is one for you. I know you weren't planning on speaking this evening, but if you're available, question came through: how do I access the free Microsoft?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. I did post the follow-up link. It's easier to post the link than to try and direct everyone there. But also, if you have those questions or questions about our laptop program or anything else, the number is there, and we will be sending a follow-up email out to students early next week with information about the free Microsoft WebEx as well as our laptop program.
Next, I will, Miss Estep, get your microphone ready. What happened to the drop and go email? Will there not be a drop and go? And I'm reading it verbatim.
Okay. The drop and go should have gone out with the people who signed up for drop and go. If this person can put their email in the chat, then I will follow up.
Okay. So, and just for clarity purpose, who was eligible for drop and go? Because I think that might be why some people didn't get the email. I'm not exactly sure.
Only North Carolina residents, but there were limited spaces. So freshmen will go on, first year students, will go on July 31st, and the returners will go on August the 1st. But again, it was limited slots.
Okay, thank you. Miss Colleen Herbert, coming for you. Is the student engagement requirement just for undergraduate students or graduate students as well?
Thank you so much for asking. This is a requirement for undergraduate students only.
Okay, I think I could pinch hit this one, but Miss Estep, let me know if there's something else. If a student has a suggestion on the visitation policy, who do they email? And correct me if I'm wrong, they can email residential_life@nccu.edu. Is that correct, Ms. Estep?
They can actually directly email me. My email, I'll put it in the chat, but my email is eestep@nccu.edu, and they can also, I'll direct them once they email me.
Okay. And it looks like for the most part, we have gotten through the handful of questions that we had. Just to let folks know, again, Student Affairs and our partners across campus are working very hard to try to ensure that we provide you all with a very memorable and exciting fall 2020 semester. We're not going to let COVID-19 hold us back at all. These eagle wings are ready to soar and fly high. So we have a lot of different things coming. You keep an eye on your emails, your NCCU emails, and your Engage, because a lot of the information will be posted there. A lot of opportunities for experiential learning, fun experiential learning, a lot of opportunities for leadership and recognition. We're working on enhancements to, I know virtual is something that we're all pretty much over, but we're actually working on some enhancements for cable television and other mediums to deliver events and programs. And we're looking at a number of different contests and activities to help students stay involved and win some prizes and try to make the best out of their fall 2020 semester. The biggest thing we want to remind everyone is that this is a new normal, and we have to make sure we're protecting the nest. So always remember, face masks at all times. Washing your hands thoroughly. Make sure you're washing your hands. Social distance. I know I've seen it, and I know how it is. I'm an HBCU grad myself. So when we come back to campus, we want to hug, dap, catch up, and all those things. And I know it's been a longer experience away from campus than anyone anticipated. But social distancing is a must. We have to keep in mind that every time we come in close proximity to someone, we could potentially contract or unintentionally pass on the COVID virus. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep everyone healthy and safe throughout the fall semester so that we can have a full and complete fall semester. Just one last check for any questions. I'm not seeing any, and I'm not one to drag something out. The next slide, here is some of our contact information. If you have any questions or want to reach out to us, reach out to us individually. Another question came through. Let me see. What is that? We'll have to answer that on the side. But all the contact information is there. If you want to find out anything else, feel free to contact us. We thank you all for coming out. I will turn things back over to Ms. Jada Anthony.
Thank you, Mr. Clem. And thank you once again, Eagles, for joining us this evening. We hope tonight has provided much clarity and reassurance in regards to the fall semester at NCCU. If you missed any of the responses and questions, please remember this will be posted on the NCCU Life YouTube page. If we did not get the chance to answer your question, please submit them to ncculife@nccu.edu, and we will respond in a timely manner. Please continue to stay safe and be vigilant in protecting the nest.
Thank you all, and have a great evening.